Hello, everybody, and welcome to week number 7 in the NFL season. And my predictions for the NFL, of course, looking back on last week, we go 7 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7-7 doesn't sound very good, but actually it's 3 above average in ESPN because everybody that I got wrong, all 7 of my picks I got wrong, most people picked those teams to win. And 4 of the games that I got right, they were actually the minority selection. So actually above average despite going 7-7. So let's just go into next week. The first game was an example of that. Only 35% of people picked the Eagles on Thursday Night Football to beat the Panthers. I took them and they win. They win 28-13. Carolina turns the ball over 3 times in this game, all of them on Cam Newton interceptions, so of course he looks great against my Lions, and then goes and shits the bed very next game he plays. But he goes 28 for 52, 1 touchdown, 239 yards, 3 interceptions, not good. Carson Wentz goes 16 for 30, 222 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Eagles outgain the Panthers on the ground 101-80. Nothing to speak of in the receiving department for either team, really. And the Eagles win 28-23. Big road win, big conference win. 2 teams that were 3-1 coming into this game, or 4-1 coming into this game. And the Eagles pull it out, so we got that pick right. The next game was the Falcons at home against the Dolphins. I don't think anybody had this one. In fact, only 3% of people on ESPN.com picked the Dolphins. They end up winning 20-17. And it was a pretty big comeback. They were down 17-0 at the half. Falcons are used to blowing big leads in the second half. The Dolphins get 2 touchdowns in the third quarter, make it 17-14. They add a field goal with 8:34 to go to tie it up, and then they kick another field goal near the end of the game with 2:30 left to take the lead, and that ends up being the final. Matt Ryan throws another interception. So I've lost count. I think that's like 7 in the last 3 or 4 games. I don't know. Anyway, we got that pick wrong. That brings us to the Bears on the road against the Ravens. I took the Ravens, as did most people. The Bears win 27-24. That puts them at 2-4 now on the season. And, I mean, they just beat them. Each team turned the ball over multiple times, but the Bears had almost an extra 100 yards on offense. It was a back-and-forth game. Bears were up 17-3 at one point. And the Ravens actually end up tying it with 1:37 to go at 24. And the Bears win in overtime on their second possession with a 40-yard field goal from Connor Barth. Mitch Trubisky makes his debut. He goes 8 for 16, 113 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, so not great. But not awful either. Joe Flacco goes 24 for 41, 180 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That is awful. The Bears get 231 yards rushing to the Ravens' 125. That's led by Jordan Howard's 167 yards on 36 carries. They're going to kill that man. And yeah, Bears get the win, so we got that pick wrong. Next game we got right. It was the Browns on the road against the Texans. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm not picking the Browns again. This game's not worth talking about. The Texans win 33-17. Browns are awful. Next game is the Lions on the road against the Saints. My Lions. I took the Saints because I didn't feel it. And yeah, Saints win 52-38, and it really wasn't that close. Fuck the Detroit Lions. They suck ass. Green Bay Packers on the road against the Vikings. I went with the Packers because I don't think anybody thought that Aaron Rodgers would be destroyed within the first 5 minutes of the game. So the Vikings ended up winning 23-10 because the Packers without Rodgers are not a good team at all. And I mean, that's really all there is to say about this one. And knowing my Lions and our luck, we killed Dalvin Cook and pretty much end the Vikings' offensive chances of doing anything. Aaron Rodgers gets killed, and yet we are 3rd place in the division now and probably just going to let the Vikings win. Or the Packers. Packers probably just end up winning anyway. Then we had the Patriots on the road against the Jets. I picked the Patriots, as did most people. They ended up winning 24-17, but it looked a little dicey at first. The Jets took a 14-0 lead. Patriots ended up tying it by halftime and adding to it. They were up 24-14 until 3 minutes to go. The Jets kick a field goal to make it a 7-point game, but were unable to do anything when they got the ball back to try and tie it. Jets actually outgained the Patriots 408-375. And, I mean, yeah, coming into the season, people are saying the Jets were the worst team in the NFL, but they're far from it, actually. Again, they haven't really beat a good team, but they're hanging in there against some other teams as well. Josh McCown goes 31 for 47, 354 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Tom Brady goes 20 for 38, 257 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Patriots outgained the Jets rushing 118 to 74, so we got that pick right. Then, the next game we also got right, easy one. Redskins at home against the 0-5 49ers. Went with the Redskins. They pull it out. They win 26 to 24. They actually were up 17 to nothing at one point, but by the end of the third quarter, it was 17 to 17. But with 3 minutes to go, the Redskins put up a touchdown after they had an earlier field goal to make it a 9-point game. 49ers score with under 2 minutes to go. They actually get the ball back, but end up throwing a game-ending interception, which leads to the Redskins' victory. Kirk Cousins goes 25 for 37, 330 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. CJ Beathard actually plays most of the game for the 49ers. He goes 19 for 36, 245 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Not a lot on the ground for either team. Redskins outgained the 49ers 94 to 85. And through the air, Chris Thompson for the Redskins has 4 catches for 105 yards. So we got that pick right. We also got this pick right. This is a trend. I said every other week, the Jags are good, the Jags are bad, Jags are good, Jags are bad. So most people had the Jaguars winning at home against the Rams. But they won the week before, so it was obvious the Jaguars were going to lose this week, so that's what they've done all year. So I went with the Rams to beat the Jaguars on the road, basically for that reason alone, and they do. They win 27 to 17. Pretty much all the scoring actually happened in the first quarter. It was 17 to 14 at the end of the first. And then at the end of the half, it was 24-14 Rams. And second half, it's just awful. Each team kick a field goal. Jaguars actually outgained the Rams 389 to 249. But just were unable to finish drives. Blake Bortles goes 23 for 35, 241 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jared Goff goes 11 for 21, 124 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, so not good at all for either quarterback. Rams have 142 yards rushing, Jaguars 169. Leonard Fournette for the Jaguars, 21 carries, 130 yards, 1 touchdown. Todd Gurley, 23 carries, 116 yards. And not a lot doing through the air, of course. So we got that pick right. Which brings us to the Buccaneers in Arizona facing off against the Cardinals. I went with the Buccaneers on the road. I don't remember my reasoning. But they lose 38-33. At one point, though, early in the third quarter, it was 31 to nothing. So it wasn't even for the majority of the game, but the stats ended up being even because once this game looked like it was out of hand, the Buccaneers turned it on. They ended up scoring 3 straight touchdowns to make it 31 to 20. Cardinals pretty much put it away with 7 minutes left. They go up with another touchdown, 38 to 20. But the Buccaneers come back with a touchdown to make it 38 to 26. They get the ball back and quickly score again to make it 38 to 33 with 2:02 to go. Then they try the onside kick, which is recovered by the Cardinals, and they were able to kneel out the clock as the Buccaneers were out of timeout. So we got that pick incorrect. Carson Palmer, by the way, this was like the coming out party for the retirement home. Carson Palmer, 18 for 22, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Adrian Peterson, 26 carries, 134 yards, 2 touchdowns. Larry Fitzgerald, 10 catches, 138 yards, 1 touchdown. So, what would have been an all-star team in 2008 really showed up for the Cardinals on Sunday. Then we had the Chiefs at home against the Steelers. I went with the Chiefs, as did most people. They actually lose 19 to 13. They couldn't do anything on offense. They get outgained 439 to 251. They only picked up 12 first downs all game. It was 12 to 3 at halftime in favor of the Steelers. Chiefs made it 12 to 10 with 6 minutes left. Steelers responded with another touchdown to go up 19 to 10. Chiefs kick a field goal to make it 19 to 13 with a little over 2 minutes to go, and they get the ball back but are unable to do anything with it and lose 19 to 13. Alex Smith, 19 for 34, 1 touchdown, 246 yards. Roethlisberger, 17 for 25, 252, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. 194 yards rushing for the Steelers, led by Le'Veon Bell's 170 and a touchdown on 32 carries. Chiefs only 28 yards rushing. And Antonio Brown also had 8 catches, 155 yards, and a touchdown. That brings us to the Chargers at the Raiders. I picked the Raiders, as did most people. They lose 17-16. Chargers actually outgained the Raiders 343-274. So the Chargers win 2 in a row after starting 0-4, even though they were in all 4 of those losses. So who knows, maybe they've turned the corner. Derek Carr played in this one. He went 21 for 30, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 171 yards. Phillip Rivers 25 for 36, 268 yards, 1 touchdown. Raiders actually outgain the Chargers 109-80 on the ground. Marshawn Lynch had 63 yards and 13 carries. But the Chargers pick up the win. That's their second in a row, so we got that one wrong as well. We also got this one wrong, as did 97% of people on ESPN.com. It was the Denver Broncos at home on Sunday Night Football against the New York Giants, who were 0-5. And the Giants come in and they win soundly, 23-10. They were actually up 17-3 at the end of the half and 20-3 at the end of the fourth quarter. Not a lot to talk about. This game was just ugly for the Broncos. They actually outgained the Giants 412-266, but turned it over 3 times, 1 fumble and 2 interceptions. Trevor Siemian goes 29 for 50, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 376 yards. Manning only goes 11 for 19, 128 yards, 1 touchdown. Giants outrushed the Broncos 148-46. Orleans Darkwa led the way for the Giants with 117 yards rushing on 21 carries. Demaryius Thomas had 10 catches for 133 yards for the Broncos, but they lose to the Giants at home. Got that one wrong. Last game, Titans at home, Monday Night Football against the Colts. I picked the Titans. They won 36-22. That's all I'm going to say about that. I really don't care to look into that game any further because it is disgusting. So after 6 weeks, we are 58-33 in our NFL predictions. Pretty good. Let's see if we can get that continuing in the right direction here for week number 7. Almost halfway through the NFL season. Depressing. First game, Thursday Night Football, tonight, actually. Maybe it's probably in progress by the time I upload this video. Right now it's almost 6 o'clock, so we got about 2 hours, 20 minutes. Gotta edit my audio, edit my video. The game will probably be started by the time it's uploaded. Anyway, I don't trust the Raiders. They're 2-4. They were supposed to be some great team. I know they were without Carr for 2 games. But at home, Thursday night, kind of like their chances, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs on the road to beat the Raiders. So for Sunday, it's the Bills at home against the Buccaneers. Buccaneers have been pretty disappointing so far. Bills have been alright. They're at home. Give me the Bills over the Bucks. Panthers on the road against the Bears. This is going to be a close game, actually. But give me the Panthers over the Bears. Titans on the road against the Browns. I said it 2 weeks ago. I'm not picking the Browns for the rest of the season because they've screwed me. So I don't care who they're playing. I don't care where the game's played. Give me the Titans on the road over the Browns. The New Orleans Saints go into Green Bay to face the Packers. Packers obviously without Aaron Rodgers and had a number of people injured before him. So you can't like their chances in this one. But they're at home. I don't know. I think this game will actually be close. The vast majority of people are going with the Saints on ESPN.com, which is understandable. And I'm going with the Saints as well. I think they're going to win. But keep an eye on this game. I think the Packers keep it close. Next game is the Jaguars on the road against the Colts. Jaguars lost last week, so this means they're going to come in here and look like the best team in the NFL this week, especially against the Colts. So give me the Jaguars to beat the Colts. Rams at home against the Cardinals. Pretty big NFC West game, actually. Rams 1 game ahead of the Cardinals for first place in the division. They're at home. Cardinals have been up and down. Rams have looked good more often than they've looked bad. So at home, give me the Rams to beat the Cardinals. The New York Jets on the road to take on the Miami Dolphins. I don't think I've ever picked the Dolphins to win a game so far this year. At home against the Jets, I'm still not doing it. That's right, I like the Jets on the road to upset the Dolphins. The Ravens in Minnesota taking on the Vikings. Ravens have been up and down all year. Vikings, yeah, their offense might not be the greatest thing ever, but their defense is pretty good. At home against Flacco, who sucks. Give me the Vikings over the Ravens. Then we have the Cowboys in San Francisco against the 0-6 49ers. Can the Cowboys get back to 500? They are 2-3 this year. Probably. So that's why I'm going with the Cowboys, because the chances are they win this game. But look out for them 49ers. I think the 49ers have a pretty good shot in this game. I think this game will be close. So look out for the 49ers, but you got to go with the Cowboys. They more than likely get it done. Speaking of upsets, maybe, we got the 2-3 Bengals on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are 4-2. Big AFC North matchup. AFC North is awful. Bengals are very much in this thing still, despite starting 0-3. If they win this game, they are right where they want to be, really. In the best position you could be if you ever start a season 0-3. On the road against a big rival. Steelers have been up and down all year. Bengals have won 2 in a row. I'm going with the big upset. I'm going with the Bengals to beat the Steelers on the road. Another road team I have winning. It's the Denver Broncos going into Los Angeles and beating the Chargers. Pretty easy pick here for me. Yeah, Chargers have won 2 in a row. Broncos haven't really looked good the last couple of weeks. But home field advantage means nothing for the Chargers. And I think the Broncos are a better team. So give me the Broncos over the Chargers. Another tricky one. We got the Seahawks on the road against the Giants. It's a 4 o'clock game, so you don't have a West Coast team playing early on the East Coast. Giants are 1-5. Seahawks 3-2. They haven't looked the greatest. Giants coming off of a pretty impressive win after an 0-5 start. So can they carry that over at home? I think they could, but I'm going to go with the Seahawks to win on the road against the Giants. A lot of road warriors this week. Sunday Night Football. Falcons on the road against the Patriots. Most people rolling with the Patriots. That's understandable. But the Patriots have looked beatable in every single game they've played, even at home. So even at home, Sunday Night Football against the Falcons, who have lost 2 in a row in ugly fashion. Give me the Falcons on the road to beat the Patriots. I think Julio Jones returns to pretty much 100% this week. And that Patriots defense is not good. Falcons offense, typically, not the last 2 weeks, but typically is very good against a not good defense. Give me the Falcons on the road against the Patriots on Sunday Night Football. That's right. You know I love my home primetime teams, but I got 2 road teams winning Thursday night and Sunday night. Which brings us to Monday nights. The Eagles, 5-1 at home, hosting the 3-2 Washington Redskins. I'm going with the Eagles in this one. This should be a really good game. I'll even give you a score. I got the Eagles 28, Redskins 24. Those are my predictions for week number 7 in the NFL season. Thank you so much for watching. As always, subscribe so that you can check out next week when we break down all of these games and predict all of next week's games. And as always, feel free to comment below your thoughts on my predictions or any of your predictions for this week as well. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and goodbye.